Opening remarks to the district, Mr. Hendrick emphasized the importance of cultivating meaningful student relationships and experiences. We in this room know that many of our most meaningful school experiences involve the arts in some way, shape, or form. Superintendent Hendrick went on to reaffirm our commitment to 6 core values. We are incredibly fortunate to have a superintendent who understands that the study of the arts embodies each and every one of those values. In thinking of how we move forward as a district, one core value stood out to me above all others, and that is the value of connectedness. Now more than ever, human connection and relationships are essential for both students and teachers. Arts educators are phenomenal at building caring relationships with students and reinforcing connections through listening, creating, and responding. These are skills that students will need well beyond their time in school. Thank you, Mr. Hendrick, for recognizing that. So today we welcome and honor you. We know you will lead us by constantly considering what is best for students. We appreciate you for being someone who understands the value of a high-quality arts education to enrich students' lives. For being someone who understands that all students, 100%, deserve access to the arts' transformative power. Some might say that the arts are the heartbeat of our schools. It seems fitting then to present you with a percussion instrument as a token of our appreciation. Look home, this instrument has a rich and storied history in Afro-Peruvian and Latin American music. The first examples of this instrument were extremely simple, consisting merely of empty wooden fruit crates or upside-down drawers, anything that could be harnessed to the rhythm of the music. Born out of necessity and evolving with the times, many parallels can be drawn between this instrument and education. We recognize that the work is hard. Some days will be more joyous than others. On the most difficult of days, we hope that you glance at your gift and remember this community. We are all here to help you find moments of humor, joy, and excitement, all of us. Under your leadership, we know that the heartbeat will only grow stronger. Thank you.
Good afternoon. It is an honor to be here at this exciting arts event at the Dunedin Fine Arts Center to help welcome our new superintendent, Mr. Kevin Hendrick. Thank you, ACE, for all that you do to support our arts programs in our public schools, and thank you to all of our arts supervisors, district leadership, and school leaders for all of the support you have given and continue to give all of our visual arts teachers. My name is Natalie Sterator, and I am a visual arts teacher at Curlew Creek Elementary and president of the Pinellas Arts Education Association, also known as PAEA. We were very fortunate to have Mr. Hendrick speak at our district-wide training 2 weeks ago. Mr. Hendrick, thank you for all the wonderful things you shared and all of the support that I know we all felt from you that day. It was a pleasure. The visual arts are an important and impactful subject for our youth. Students in our visual art classes are not only learning how to produce beautiful artworks, exuding personal voice and choice, but they are also learning higher order thinking skills that will help them to become successful and confident students in all subject areas and to a bright future beyond our school walls. Students learn how to use problem-solving techniques, build their organizational and social skills, and become creative and expressive thinkers. Thanks to art instruction by certified art educators, students can take risks in a safe place and learn to be more self-confident. The visual arts provide the much-needed platform for students to be seen, heard, and valued, both at their schools and in district exhibitions with our art museum and center partners. As a visual arts educator, I want my students to feel they have a safe classroom learning environment to unleash their creativity while also seeing that art can be translated into all of their subject areas for even greater learning gains. As a child, I was always a visual learner. This was my main learning mode. It was much easier for me to see the answer rather than read words on a page in a book. I remember being in an art class and we were working on a ceramics project when my teacher had mentioned that the clay would change its form once it was fired. I immediately connected this art experience with what I was learning in science at the time, and I will never forget the feeling I had at that moment. I then found myself seeking out those connections and realizing that I could explain practically every subject through my artwork. Now, as an educator, I make it my mission to link as much into my own curriculum with what the students are learning in their classrooms. Watching my students see those natural connections instantly gives me the same feeling I had as a child when those same connections were made to me. We are very eager to continue to show you how much we value our arts programs across the district and are excited to welcome you to your new position. We know you will always support our students and us through our shared vision and mission. We also brought a gift for you, and and it's an artwork that was created by one of our Pinellas County art students. And the picture simply just embodies everything that the arts seem to hold. So we hope that you enjoy it. Yes.
Good evening. We want to thank each and every one of you for being here this evening. This is so heartwarming and so exciting. Thank you to both of you for incredible speeches. I don't know how I'm going to follow that. But my name is Lisa Kane. I am the Vice Chair of the Pinellas County School Board, and we welcome each and every one of you here this evening. Thank you so much to Arts for a Complete Education for hosting this incredible welcome reception. Can we please give them a round of applause? It was incredible. I truly appreciate all of you joining us in person, also those of you online, to learn a bit more about what our school district has to provide and any input on what you might think we're doing well and in areas that you believe we could work to improve. In a moment, you're going to hear from our new superintendent, Mr. Kevin Hendrick. We are so proud to have him. Mr. Hendrick is a graduate of Pinellas County Schools and began working with us as a teacher in 1997. He has served as a teacher, a coach, a principal, a director, and most recently as Associate Superintendent of Teaching and Learning Services. During the interview process for the superintendent position, Mr. Hendrick shared his desire to have these kind of listen and learn sessions so that he could hear directly from our stakeholders. Whether you are a parent, a student, a staff member, a community member, your feedback is so important to each and every one of us as we make decisions for the district. Tonight, Mr. Hendrick will speak briefly in one area of focus, the performing and visual arts, a topic that is very close to my heart. And then I, along with members of our district and leadership team, will spread out throughout the room, and you will have the opportunity to chat with each of us and provide input on a variety of areas. For those of you online, you will see a link to a survey on your screen. Please fill out that survey tonight so your feedback is included for this session. Once you've provided your feedback, you are free to go and enjoy the rest of the evening or stay as long as you'd like. What's most important is that you have the opportunity to ask questions and share your thoughts with us. Thank you to each and every one of you for participating tonight. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our new superintendent, Mr. Kevin Hendrick. Let's round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Kane. And she didn't say that she is an artist herself, and thank you for your support of the arts. Before I get started on the formal part of the platform, I do have to share just real quickly, probably the most difficult part of the first couple of months as superintendent and the first 6 days of school was on the first day of school. I visited 10 schools, started at the bus compound on 49th Street, greeting our bus drivers, and then went to 10 schools, and then we kind of debriefed the whole day. It was hot, I was in a tie, it was all those things. But I got to Maximo, and I think it was the second school we went to, and Principal Moses said, listen, when we welcome the students in, we have a drum line, and you're going to be on the first drum. And I said, all right, I can do this. And I said, what beat do I play? She said, doesn't matter. Just make noise, and they'll be fine. I said, well, I can do that. She didn't tell me it was going to be for 35 minutes. And so I was soaked head to toe. My forearms were on fire, and we had an awesome time. So I will put that to good use, but I'm not going to do it for 35 straight minutes. All right? Thank you to each of you for being here this evening for this third Listen and Learn of 8 that we're doing across our district. I want to let each of you know that part of the design of these is that I'm going to give about a 15-minute quick overview of the district and then specifically talk about the arts. Then you get an opportunity to give feedback, but it's also designed so that you're not trapped for the rest of the evening. So after you give your feedback, if you want to leave, you take off, do what you need to do. It's not one of those things where you're going to be here and have to sit and listen for an hour and a half, or you have to come back and hear the end of it. It's sort of designed to be open-ended in that way. So to kick it off, just a little bit about the session. This evening's theme, of course, is the arts, but there's also an opportunity for anyone to give us feedback on any part of the district. So there'll be opportunities around our district strategic plan, how we collaborate, how we communicate with stakeholders, and then specifically this evening, lots of ways in which you can provide your feedback on the arts. So you'll see some posters, you've probably already seen them around, and we'll have an opportunity to share with that. But to start just quickly about who we are and why we're out doing these sessions. As you know, most of you in this room, Pinellas County Schools, 100,000 students, 13,000 plus employees, led by our 7 school board members. Vice Chair Mrs. Kane is here this evening. Each of our board members has been leading one of these, and we're so thrilled to have Mrs. Kane here this evening. As part of that, we have 122 schools, 3 adult education centers, 2 technical colleges, 20 charter schools in our district, 128, I shorted us 8, across our district. And many of you are here tonight from all 128 schools. I think I shook all of your hands as part of the second wedding I had this evening. It was mentioned who we are and about our core values, and I thank you for doing that, because one of the things I wanted to really emphasize this school year is the importance of having fun in what we do. Most of you as arts educators who are here in the room, you have a passion for what you do, and that's the same for every teacher. Our English teachers have a passion for literature. Our math teachers have a passion for math, social studies. That's what I taught mostly down the street here at Dunedin High School, love social studies. We want our folks in that passion to come out. We want to see our kids on fire with the arts, on fire with any class that they're in. And so we started this year really grounding ourselves and saying, in order to achieve that vision of 100% student success in whatever we ask our students to do, and achieve our mission to prepare each student for college, career, and life, we have to remember how we do that, and that's through our core values. And over the course of the pandemic and because of testing and all these other things, there's all good reasons why we may stray from that for some reason. But if we don't ground ourselves in that, no one's going to have fun. And if we're not going to enjoy the work that we do, and kids aren't going to enjoy coming to school, then shame on all of us. And so that's how I wanted to start my superintendency, and then that's how we started this school year. And the feedback has certainly been positive. I'm not going to quiz you on the 6 core values like I did the visual arts teachers when I visited them, but maybe we'll come back to that. But we're guided by our district strategic plan, and I know that you haven't read all 161 goals, but I do want you to know that there is a plan. Our board annually reviews this, goes through several months of workshops and public hearings on our district strategic plan, and provides the direction for the school district. Included in that are goals on the arts, there's goals on student achievement, there's goals on fiscal responsibility, there's goals on behavior, and everything in between. And so this evening, one of the things you'll have an opportunity to do is to provide a little bit of feedback on any parts of that district strategic plan. But this evening, I do want to focus and hit just a few highlights in the arts, starting with just some of our superstar art teachers. So we have 3 District Teachers of the Year in arts that are all here this evening. Our most recent one, Eileen Yakabuchi, who represented Pinellas County Schools in the state competition. I had a chance to be with her this summer over in Orlando. Congratulations, Ms. Yakabuchi. I know you're here. There she is. And you always run the risk of naming others, but I'm going to do it anyway. So David Martinez Cooley was a District Teacher of the Year. He's back there, and he also snuck in, although he wasn't in the reception line, a former Teacher of the Year, Mr. Kevin Ford. Mr. Ford, welcome. And one of our 2 district emerging teachers of the year this past year was Gabrielle Medina, one of our new teachers that we started as a process. So I don't know if Gabrielle was here or if I saw her, but congratulations to her as well. That we have in our district exhibitions and showcases, and I'm going to roll through a bunch of points of pride. I'm not going to read everyone that's there. When Jonathan and Ajori sort of sent me the list, it would have looked like 2-point font on the screen, so we had to take some out and blow it up a little bit. But I'll roll through some. Just 34 district exhibitions in which our students display their artwork, including here at this beautiful facility in Dunedin. As part of our district competitions, one of those, of course, is the National Scholastic Art Awards competition. And just last year, we had a record 17 Pinellas County students earn those national medals of scholastic art, which is incredible. The community support for the arts is incredible here in Pinellas County. We know that. We know it from our northernmost to our southernmost parts of our district. But it also comes through, especially through our referendum. For 20 years now, our community has supported the referendum 5 times going to the voters. This last time, a record 79% of voters approved the referendum, which supports teacher salaries and, of course, additional resources for the arts, technology, and reading. We have great partnerships. I met so many of you that are here tonight representing different partners across our district, from Arts for Complete Education, several members of the Florida Orchestra Board. I didn't even know you were coming, and I had you in the PowerPoint. And a great partnership with the Kennedy Center for the Arts in Washington, D.C., where our district is one of a handful of districts across the country who have met with the Kennedy Center and continue to partner with their work. Lots of awards and recognitions that you'll see there. I'm not going to mention every single one, but we continue to push excellence in everything that we do. And I know I talked to Jory and Jonathan, and they come to me with yet another TDE to sign. The teachers know what those things are. For student competitions, where you're taking students to Chicago and Raleigh, and of course, the Macy's Parade this year in New York City, the Rose Bowl Parade, and everywhere in between. And we want to always continue to do those things. And so I want you to know that even during the pandemic times, and certainly this year, we always, always, always support teachers taking students to competitions anywhere. That's part of the student experience that you heard about earlier, and we want you to continue to do that. I joked with the visual arts teachers that when I was principal, I always looked at those lists that Jonathan sent out of who's participating and what was the percentage. And almost on cue the next day, he sent me the most recent one. And so we'll continue to push for our students to be performers in all of those competitions. Likewise, all of our all-county music fests, the thespian competitions, the district competitions, the state ones, continue to push your students to do that. Had a conversation with my own son, who's a 7th grader, and his teacher is here this evening, his band teacher, about trying out for all-county. And guess what Dad said? You will do it, right? Yes, you will, and that's the end of it, right? Continue to push for those things. We've expanded our arts programming in terms of our magnet programs, opening Sandy Lane recently, and continuing to grow and push. John Hopkins program has expanded tremendously. Gibbs program has expanded tremendously. And Tarpon Springs, both the middle and high school, continue to thrive. We're really proud of those, but we're as proud of our everyday arts programs in every single school. That's something that makes Pinellas really unique, is that every student in elementary school receives arts every week in visual and performing arts, and we're really, really proud of that. We've mentioned the partnerships, Florida Orchestra, our 2 teaching artists that we have, and we continue to expand academically. I'm so thrilled about the pre-AP art classes that we have now in all of our middle schools. A couple of you mentioned to me that you teach those. We started in just a handful, and now we're up to every single one. And I love the Ignite Arts Camp. I was able to see the end of the year performance 2 summers ago, and I thank each of you that work in the summer to do those pieces. That's been at Gibbs the last couple summers. It's now grown to 200 students from the first summer of 40, trying to make sure we continue our middle school students keeping in band through middle school and into high school. A couple of other just examples of partnerships. I know we have lots of arts partners here tonight. The last several years, a great partnership with the St. Petersburg Opera, where students have been able to go from all over the county to perform and see an opera for children. I thank Lisa Lehman in the back, who's been leading that work with students all over. Yes. And so these points of pride are just part of what you'll see in our district strategic plan with those goals. And so tonight, part of the way that you'll be able to give feedback is on the plan itself. And I'm going to roll through these areas really quick. But accelerating learning through student experiences is part of our district strategic plan. Not going to read everything there, but you'll be able to give us some feedback on how we're doing that accelerated learning. How are we creating a culture of a healthy learning environment that's safe, rewarding for our employees and our students and families? So that's an area of feedback you can provide tonight on some of the posters. Endless opportunities, our choice programs, our new programs, how we recognize our schools, all of those are opportunities to give feedback this evening. But mostly tonight, we want your feedback on the arts. And so I'm going to go over a little bit of our arts programming, starting in elementary school and then going to middle and high school. And I'm going to do it in visual and then performing. While many of you in this room who are teachers know what happens at your school in sight, you may not know what happens at the next level or the next level. And some of our arts partners may not be as familiar with all the things that we do. So real quickly, in the visual arts in elementary school, every one of our students in elementary school has visual arts class every week for 45 minutes. We have extracurricular programs that students can participate in at many of our schools. And in the summertime, we offer visual arts camps for free to students in our district. Those are funded with the referendum, and you can see many of the areas that we focus on there. In our visual arts classes in elementary, they get a full spectrum of all of the different art media, starting with our kindergartners, going all the way up to 5th grade, and our students have an opportunity to also participate in different exhibitions, and probably our most popular one, which is in our district's administration hall, where many pieces of work are displayed, and we have that coming up, I think in September, our annual showcase for that. In the performing arts in elementary school, weekly music is offered at every single elementary school by certified music teachers, many of which are full-time, a handful of which are itinerant, and I met some of you here this evening. And you can see the full spectrum of opportunities that students participate in there, from modern band, recorder, guitar, ukulele, drumming, yes, drumming, and others as well. After school, and as part of our 4th and 5th grade, we have chorus as well, and then the opportunity to participate in all-county chorus, orchestra, orff, and drumming ensembles, and a new Ignite youth choir that we've started recently to push, and then many schools have their own band programs after school. In the summertime, for our elementary students, in 20 schools this summer, as part of our push for literacy, we built in an opportunity for students to have an arts experience. And so we saw arts integration this summer at 20 of our summer bridge sites for students to, yes, go and learn about reading and math, but have an experience in arts in the summer. In the visual arts in middle school, our students in middle school and high school start to take electives in arts classes. And so they may be 45 minutes daily or 90 minutes every other day, including leading up to that pre-advanced placement arts visual arts course that's now offered in 8th grade for high school credit. Several of our middle schools offer art clubs, mural clubs, digital art clubs. I know I saw our famous mural club teacher here from Osceola Middle this evening. And many of you do that work at your school. In our summer, we have those programs, again, referendum-funded programs that are free for students, and it also gives us an opportunity to have teachers work together to improve their craft in the summer. In the performing arts, our middle school, again, offers elective courses in band, chorus, orchestra, guitar, drama, dance, color guard, music technology, and music production at our schools, and pre-AP music is offered at 3 schools for high school credit, and we'll continue to expand that as we're able. Then we have lots of extracurricular activities there. You can see those, of course, our county opportunities for students in middle school, as well as in middle school and elementary school, regular performances, certainly each semester at their school. In the summer, the visual arts in the performing arts in middle school, we have the visual arts camps for students. You see all those topics, and we'll get to performing arts. We have the Ignite music camps for our students in the performing arts in the summer. So lots to see and do in middle school, and in high school as we transition to there. Similar in terms of course progression. Obviously, more teachers typically in a high school in the arts, and the opportunity for things like marching band and more ensembles, jazz ensemble, lots of clubs. We have some really creative folks who lead some of our high school clubs, a cappella clubs, and all kinds of different things. We have advanced placement courses in all of our high schools, both in visual and performing arts. I mentioned the extracurriculars, and then in the summer, you can see those visual arts camps again, and in the performing arts, many of our high schools host summer camps as well. So I ran through those really quickly. You'll see the next slide for performing arts, and 88% of our music ensembles have scored superior or excellent at the annual MPA, or Music Performance Assessments. But I want to show just a quick video in action of our referendum and that Ignite Arts Camp, and then come back and talk a little bit about the ways you can give some feedback this evening.
Ignite Camp is a completely free referendum-funded camp for incoming 7th, 8th, and 9th graders who are enrolled in a music class in Pinellas County Schools. Here at Ignite Camp, our students are in their full band, chorus, or orchestra ensembles, but on top of getting to collaborate with students across the district, they are also enrolled in 3 electives, and we tried to pick electives that they maybe weren't offered at school. So we have classes such as digital music.
It's really fun. I'm getting to learn new things, kind of like digital music. I didn't know you could make music online really. My band teacher told us it would be a really fun experience to learn new things.
What I really like is that it's not just do the assignments and get them done. You actually take a lot of time on all the different assignments, and the teacher will help you. In the last couple of days, I remember the first day, I was surprised at how much I learned. I feel like it's so much better to play in a band, honestly, than on your own. You just feel more into it, you feel more active, and you just want to play, It's just making me a better musician every day, and I feel like it's the best band camp.
I really love how we all come from obviously different teaching styles because of the different teachers. So there's different things that people do know and they can help me out with, maybe during warm-ups, stuff like that. So I really great being around a bunch of other people that have the same passion as I do, which is singing. And yeah, I just really enjoy it.
So on Thursday, we will put together a final concert of everything that they have been working on for the past 2 weeks. So our full band, our full chorus, and full orchestra will perform, but on top of that, we'll also hear from some of our electives. So the concert is their time to show what they've learned this week.
So to see the program grow, when we started out, we had 2 components. We had chorus and band. It was about 50 or so students, so to be at over 100 and have that string component this year has just been truly thrilling. People really crave doing things together. People really crave attending concerts and just experiencing music together, making music together. So it was really enjoyable to look out on that stage and just see those connections happening and to just see people finally be able to participate in that thing that they've been waiting for.
This was absolutely amazing. I didn't know what to expect. I wanted to see my grandson. He plays the saxophone. What they were able to accomplish in 2 weeks, oh my God, I can't believe it. They sound so professional.
It's incredible to see the orchestra. These are kids from all over, and you'd think they've been playing together forever. I kept thinking we'd have to pay for it. They really put a lot of money and time into the camp. I was very impressed.
It's nice because it's kind of back to normal after the whole COVID deal, right? So this is the first time that she's really been involved in a larger group activity with a number of other kids.
She was excited, very thrilled, loved to it was an enjoyment for her to get up and be able to participate with all the kids here. Her confidence level has definitely gone up.
I thought this was an awesome program, especially since it was free. It was the best vote that I ever cast as it relates to expanding the horizons for my daughter's opportunity. She's a bit of an introvert, and she was excited about this. This recital, this camp, did everything that I expected it to do and more.
So that video was actually 2 summers ago, yes. So that was 2 years ago, and so when Ajori said there was 100 or a little bit more, I wasn't lying when I said there was over 200 this last summer. There was. We did have a video but I really liked some of the students, and I had been to that one, so it was fresh for me, so we played that one tonight. So here's the opportunity now for feedback. So there's really 3 areas of the museum, and I want to thank Georgianne and the folks here at this beautiful facility for hosting us tonight. There's 3 opportunities really in groups. So anybody here can give us feedback in any of the groups, but I want to explain them to you because you may be more interested in one area or another. So one area is staff recognition and engagement, not really just in the arts, but just in anything. And so that includes our district strategic plan, any feedback you have on anything in the district. That area is back here, all right? So you're going to go through the hallway here. There's posters there, there's sticky notes, and there's some dots. So every one of the areas, the opportunity for feedback really in 3 ways. One is you can write something down on a sticky note, put it up on the poster, and it'll be obvious to you where to do that. 2 is you'll have a dot, and you'll kind of rate us. So, for example, one of the ones here is, to what extent are you satisfied with the visual arts field trip opportunities? And you'll rate that somewhere between very unsatisfied and very satisfied, right? So it doesn't have to be that everything is death by sticky note, but you can just put a dot up there, okay? Then the 3rd way to provide feedback is just to staff who are here. So there's a number of district staff members. Obviously myself and Mrs. Kane are here to talk to anybody. But if the district staff that's here, they're kind of huddled up over here, they're going to be spread out amongst all of the posters to be able to answer questions and talk, so you can give feedback to any of them. So the first one, staff recognition and engagement, staff professional learning and support. So all the ones sort of related to the function of the district and staff members is down the hallway here. The second area is arts partnership and community engagement. So that one is through the back doors there, the Gladys Douglas East Wing. Those posters are along the wall there, and as I was walking in from the reception, I saw some people were already started with the dots, so that's good. So we have feedback on the wall there. There'll be some staff members there. You can rate us there. We're looking for ideas and feedback on how do we create more partnership in the arts. What are some unique things? You know, we have a lot of partners already, but what parts maybe aren't we doing? When I came in, I was talking to a couple of the folks from the Arts for Complete Education, and they were talking about how Pinellas ranks compared to the nation. And they said, you know, we are so good in so many areas, but one of the areas we could be a little bit better in, as compared to other areas, is dance. We don't have as many partnerships in dance and ballet and that type of part of the arts. So that's feedback that I hope we can get. And then, so who are those partners? What are the ways that you integrate that into the day? And then the third area is, or last area, is visual and performing arts programming. So school day, extracurricular, summer, and field trips. So you heard me kind of roll through what we do. One of the reasons I did that is because I wanted everybody, if you weren't aware of other areas in terms of elementary, middle, high, to know the actual programming that we have, what we do in the summer, what we do as enrichment. So those posters are here along this wall, and I believe they go over to the back wall there behind the reception desk. So when we break, you can go to any of those areas. There's sticky notes and dots at each one. Staff will be there, and you can rate at one area or in all of the areas. At every one of these sessions that we do, we have posters on district and school climate, stakeholder engagement, student experiences, as has been mentioned. So you'll see those opportunities on a lot of the posters. And again, it doesn't just have to be around the visual arts. It can be any feedback for the district. So for those who are watching online, there's an opportunity for you to do the same thing through a survey function. And if you can't get to the posters because there's too many people, you could also do it just using the QR code and scan that feedback in. I want you to know that this is our third of 8 of these that we're doing, and all of the feedback is being put together by our district's accountability and research department. We'll produce a public document that contains all the feedback and then some of the recommendations or ideas that we have as a district to move forward, and we'll use it in preparation for our district strategic plan as we build that for the coming school year. So I want to personally thank both the Arts for Complete Education and our 2 great groups, both the Visual Arts and Performing Arts Educator Associations, for being here this evening, for my gifts that I'll take back to the district office, but mostly for the work that you do each and every day. Your work with our kids is invaluable. It is the experience, as was mentioned, that many of them come to school for, so keep that up. I also met many parents in the reception line. I would say, well, what school? And they say, well, I'm a parent at. So I thank you for being here tonight. I know I didn't meet all of you there, but certainly look forward to the opportunity of talking to you this evening. So, as I mentioned earlier, you're not trapped, all right? You give your feedback. You can stay as long as you want, and then you're free to go. There'll be no formal close. So thank you all for coming tonight. We look forward to your feedback. Thank you.